Countdown star Rachel Riley has issued a grovelling apology after being accused of Islamophobia following her tweet about the Sydney Mall massacre. The 38-year-old presenter is now facing calls to be sacked from Channel 4 after she falsely compared Saturday's horror attack in Australia to a pro-Palestinian uprising. The bloody rampage was carried out by English tutor Joel Cauchi, 40, from Queensland, who police said had been suffering from mental health issues. In her now-deleted tweet, Riley appeared to compare the shopping center attack, in which 6 people were killed before Cauchi was shot dead by police, to the globalised Infitada movement. Globalised, the Intifada, is a term often used by pro-Palestinian activists that calls for aggressive resistance against Israel and those who support the country, and has been linked to widespread demonstration and protests in London. Riley, who is Jewish and has been a staunch supporter of Israel following the October 7th attack by terror group Hamas, has since released a statement on X in which she said she was sorry if her message had been misunderstood. Just to clarify, my intention with this tweet was not to say this attack was caused by any ideation or to link it to Islamic extremism, the presenter wrote. The former Strictly Come Dancing star continued, "At the time we did not know who the attacker was, and as such I made no reference. My aim was to highlight the weekly calls for Intifada being tolerated in London and around the world, which in actuality means violence on our streets. For 6 months now, I have avoided taking the tube, or going with my kids to anywhere near the marches and each week we see the extremist chants on proud display with little outcry. Sadly, the type of attack seen in Sydney yesterday is exactly the kind of violence the previous Intifada involved, and I hope to avoid in future, but in my opinion ignoring the problem won't make it go away. Attacks on Jews have recently become repackaged as resistance in some circles, and we should in one voice condemn all acts of violence, whoever the perpetrators and whoever the victims. I am sorry if this message was misunderstood. That was not my intention." Mail Online has approached Riley for comment. Her apology came after she sparked mass outrage on X and was accused of writing a racist statement about the Sydney stabbing. In the now-deleted tweet, Riley wrote, "For 6 months now, people have been out on our streets proudly calling for the Intifada revolution. If you want to know what globalized Intifada looks like, see the Sydney Mall. 5 victims stabbed to death and 8 transferred to hospital, including a baby, due to one man and a knife. In the second Intifada, over 1,000 Israelis were murdered in restaurants, on buses and in the streets by suicide bombings, stabbings, stoning, lynching, shooting rockets. The youngest victim was just 9 hours old. Sydney Mall, multiple times over, is what they've been proudly calling for." Riley has previously spoken out about the amount of hatred she has witnessed for British Jews since the attack on Israel, telling the Mail Online it had left her shaking with fear. The 37-year-old Jewish star, who has had long-running battles with the Corbynite wing of the Labour Party over anti-Semitism, told how the events have left her frequently in tears. Speaking last year, the star told Mail Online, "Sometimes I go online and I'm terrified by this huge overwhelming amount of people who seem to be baying for blood.